Hey, what's up guys, DiplexHeated here again. Welcome back to Red Rising 2, the modern mod for Men of War Assault Squad 2. Super excited to be back here with yet another episode from our modern series featuring the Anarchists, the Corporation, and everything in between. Super excited to see this one play out. We're doing something special today. We're doing something different. The series is taking a sudden turn. This is episode 5, I do believe. We did the first bank raid, then we did the mansion raid, then we did the corporate headquarters raid. Oh, lots of raids. And then we did the funeral kidnapping, and now we're in Italia. We're in Italia, and I'm going to explain to you what's going on, because a lot of people have been thinking, and I've come up with a pretty sick idea here that's going to bring this series to a multinational level. This is how we're going to transcend into World War III, and guess what happens after that? Well, Wasteland 2. It's been a long coming now. I've had plenty of maps prepared, and they're all ready to go. And it's going to be a banger. It's going to be a banger. Wasteland 1, in comparison to Wasteland 2, is going to be like just a starter, just a little entree. I don't know why you Americans call an entree the main dish. An entree is literally derived from the word enter. The entree, the entrance. It's meant to be the starter, but whatever. Food aside, this has nothing to do with food. That series is just a little quick taste of what Wasteland 2 is going to be, and I'm going to call it Wasteland America, I think, or something like that. We'll simply have to see. This series doesn't really have a name right now. It just doesn't have a name. It's just the Red Rising mode gameplay, you know, but still. We're here in Italy, and why are we here in Italy? Well, the Anarchists, right, you might think that their goal has been to knock down this corporation and start chaos in America. Now, that's partially true, but here is how and why things get quite interesting, right? So we're in Italy, okay? And what is the CEO doing here in Italy with Italian mobsters, right? Well, here's the thing. The corporation in America was competing with a European corporation based in Italy, all right? Maybe some telecom market, maybe some natural gas. I mean, not that there's any natural gas in Italy, but something major, something behind the lines, maybe a big power company, a telecompany or something, a satellite company, could be anything, right? And what the Italian company wants to do is to knock out the American corporation and stop it from entering the European market, okay? And now they think, how can we do that? Well, we'll just basically, we'll try and somehow take out the CEO or kill him, and that'll stop the corporation's endeavors in Europe. It'll probably preoccupy them with America and the chaos that'll ensue in their corporation over there, right? But who can we enlist to help us? Right, we'll go after the Anarchists in America. They're looking for money, but more importantly, we have something that they want in order to start things and to get things really heated over in the States. Now, the Italian mobsters here have come across a type of WMD, like a weapon of mass destruction, and we're not entirely sure what it is, but they've had it for some time, and perhaps they've bought it during some black market Russian trade with the Russians or the Chinese or something like that, and they've come across it, and they're thinking they can trade now. So back in America right now, the Anarchists are laying low with their new device, while the mob now has the CEO here, and they're gonna basically try and pressure him, because the mob here is obviously in very tight relation with this huge Italian corporation. This what's his name? Not Mussolini, but what's the other scumbag's name? Oh, come on, I can't remember him now, but anyway, it's that kind of relation, you know. And they're in tight corporation. And they're basically trying to either pressure him to resign or to, I suppose, write some kind of paper giving this corporation the ability to operate alone and have monopoly in Europe, or for him to write off the plans of expanding into Europe. So it goes a lot deeper and a lot more. It stretches a lot deeper than just some anarchist group trying to just kill off some corporate leader. That's not what it's about. The plan and the goal is a lot further and more in-depth and greater than just going for a kill like that, for just killing a single individual. That's not going to give them anything. So I think that's a way of us taking the series into a really interesting direction. Okay? So I think everything's been explained pretty much. I think I'll have it in the description a little bit below. But what are we doing here today? Well, so aside from the rest of the series going to continue in America soon, where the Wasteland series will go down, the Italian Carabinieri and the other law enforcement agencies in Italy are obviously on mission pretty much to find him. They know he's here. So we're going to have ourselves a bit of a raid, and we'll see if the CEO survives this one or if he's killed as hostage. We're not entirely sure, but it's going to be a pretty crazy one. We can see all the mobs this year, the Italian mobs, the Sicilian mobsters. Obviously, they're not going to be your classic Godfather mobsters. Have you guys seen Gomorrah? I prefer the movie. The series I haven't seen, but that is a good movie. Really gruesome about the Italian mobsters and stuff like that. But good movie indeed. More of a modern day Italian mobster. It doesn't run the same way as you'd romanticize about the 1920s and 30s and whatnot and 40s after the war and stuff. But yeah, so my friends, without further ado, let's let the Italian police work their job here. Let's see if we can free the CEO. But once again, now that the information or the agreement has been extracted out of him, he's completely irrelevant to the world or to the anarchists. They don't care about him. That's not what they need. They needed whatever the Italians had, and the Italians needed him. Huh? So the Italians aren't taking any main role in this. They were just part of the deal. And in the next episode, we're going to head back to the States, and we're going to see what we can do to lead us into the Wasteland series. So let me know. This is what I'm asking you for now. How can we lead our way into the Wasteland series? I am pretty excited. A lot of you guys had some ideas. Some were a little ordinary, you know. Please hit me with something that really impresses me when it comes to something like that, and I will feature your idea and I will give you credit for it. But that's a long intro, but hey, the situation had to be explained. Let's get into the action bit. I think this story is mostly this story is more about talking and kind of getting a feel for the story, and the battling and that stuff is just the visual backup. That is what takes this from being an audible book to an actual kind of series with visual aspects. Alright, so let's start this battle, I suppose you could call it. I really hope I pronounced that right. Carabinieri. I've seen them plenty of times. I've been to Italy countless times. But I might have... Carabinieri. Arma dei Carabinieri. Is one of Italy's two paramilitary police corps. The other one is the Finance and Toll. Or Finance and Customs. We say Toll in Sweden, but that's not what everyone else says. Anyway, they're geared up for the raid. The cars are driving in kind of slowly here. Oh, and these models and skin look fantastic. Look at them, they're rolling in. They've blocked off a few of the exits here. We've got a few policemen here in various gear with weaponry. Look, someone's got their face covered in sunglasses, and you know they're looking all tactical. And it's not the basic carabinieri. It's definitely not the ones looking fancy in their parade dresses with their striped pants and their beautiful white hats and whatnot. These men here aren't meant for the streets of Rome, so to speak. No, these guys are they crack down on the more organized crime. Oh boy, this is gonna be exciting. So the only thing we'll hear a lot of Italian voices, and I'll try to not go all Ichamuto, babidi bopi. I'll try and prevent myself from doing so, but sometimes I get excited, and you know what happens when you get a little excited. Well, you simply get a little excited. So we're going to jump the fence back there. We're going to bring our crew. We have some more guys in here. We want to bring everyone. Si, signore. Okay, so. Movimento. Okay, first of all, we want to make sure they're separated soldiers. There we go. Squad is ready. Set these guys up for a real ambush, man. So we've got the compound, the Sicilian mob compound, surrounded more or less. It's an early morning, so there's not a lot of people out. People like to sleep in a little bit, I suppose. We'll get all the policemen here in action. This is gonna be a... Get your gun out. Okay, we'll get it out later. Can you jump over the fence as well? Let's get over this one too. Boom, boom, boom. Doing a little bit of an Italian police dance there. Come on, get over. Hey, why are you coming around? I wanted you on the other side. So stay there. This is just the surrounding bit. The operation will start any moment now. So the preparation needs to be good. We'll have 3 men coming down the main road. Alright, I think we're pretty much ready to hit him up for real this time. This is gonna be a good one. How do I get your gun out? I've completely forgot. There's a way to get their guns out, but obviously they'll take them out sooner or later. I just don't want to break the cinematic mode here. So everyone's in their position. The cars are neatly parked here. I think the AI did a great job doing that. It's pretty cool looking. Once again, we still have a few policemen by the roadblocks here to make sure that the mobsters don't try and run. We're looking at about 2 compounds here. This is the main compound over here, where we presumably also have a boss. Look at the size of that Italian there, man. Look at the size of him. I think he's nicknamed the Pig because he uses an M60 machine gun, which is also nicknamed the Pig. And he's a big fella, man. I wouldn't want to mess with him. He can probably take a few 9mm and kind of shrug that off. And over here we have a few other gangsters. I'll be like the American cars, yes. Pickup truck, you know, a little bit for the countryside. We don't want to stand out too much, and then. Okay, the police officers have been given the order. The raid has commenced. And they're going to be moving in on the mobsters here in their compound. And they're already taking fire. One of the guards here on the outer perimeter spotted the policeman a little further out. And, well, it's going to turn into a full-on firefight. I think the police would have wanted to come a little closer, but one of the sentries spotted them, and that's how it's going to have to be. Look at them charging closer here. Oh, this is epic. Do you hear that silenced TMP back there? That's epic. That guy there in white has it. Oh, it's fantastic. Okay, so let's take a look inside the building. I'm going to pause quickly here, and we're going to go right in. Where are we? Oh, yes, he's still alive. You can see his little feet down there, his little legs. Why can't I go closer? I want to go closer. Is this closer? No, wait. If we enable his player character, you'll see him alive. Sitting right there, frightened. Now, to the Italians, they've already received the signing or the promise, so to speak. So if they keep him alive, he might go back on it. If they shoot him, perhaps what he has written in the contract and papers stands. So if I were the mobster here, I'd probably want to shoot him, and that just happened. He just turned around and literally executed him. Oh my, that's gruesome. The CEO is dead. While both of the two factions, the Anarchists and the mobsters here, have gotten what they wanted in the trade. And right now, what's up to the rest here is going to be the Italian law enforcement. I just drank way too much Coke here. I'm like about to burst, implode into a big bubble. Shit. I had to like depressurize. There we go. Oh man, that TMP gunner is just like knocking them down. Return some fire, guys. So the assault has come to a bit of a halt. The mobsters seemed a little more well prepared than the police thought. This guy's been shot and he's bleeding, but you never know what kind of drugs he's on. He's on some bath salts. That's what turns him into a bloody zombie. So he's still sitting there. But we still have more of the police officers on the way here from the flank. We got plenty coming in here from the right. The ones in the center are getting a little bit pinned, but they're still moving up. We also have a lot of troops coming in here on the left side. This is turning into a bloody battle. Officers gunned down out here in the open field. Some of the mobsters from the compound on the left side here actually abandoned it as soon as they heard the firefight, so they're heading in for the main compound. I think the Italian policemen are going to need reinforcements. They're going to be assisted by some Italian paratroopers, bloody para-rangers. That should be pretty phenomenal. But we'll see when they arrive in. There will be more cops arriving as well. As I said, there's a lot of cops still back here. They're just taking it easy with the assault right now. Perhaps they don't want to pressure the mobsters into shooting the hostage, because this is a joint goal operation. Now, the US and the corporation, obviously being a big ally of Italy, have... Did it sound like I had a bubble in my mouth there? Jeez. Coke Zero is, like, doing weird things with my mouth. But anyway, they pressured them into, like, okay, so make it a joint operation. We can't operate on Italian soil, but do it this way. Attack the mobsters, you know, see it as a raid against organized... Oh, look, the leader's being rushed out. Is he going to try and get away? I have no idea. See it as a raid against organized crime, and also, while you're there, free the hostage. That kind of thing. Oh, that guy's charging in with a double-barreled shotgun. Or he's got one of those hunting rifles. The one that's got the pipes above each other, not horizontally, but diagonally. I believe that's that kind of shotgun. I'm not entirely sure. Could be wrong. Could be a double-barreled side-by-side. But, well, they're setting up a perimeter here. I think it's time to hold fast here for the law enforcement troops to stand their ground, and for the flanking forces to come in now. I think it's time to call in the Italian paratroopers operating here with the police. Sometimes when you're up against heavily armed mobsters and organized crime, I guess you'll just have to deploy the army. I'm not entirely sure if there are laws in some countries where the army can't actually be deployed against civilians or criminals, so to speak, or like in internal businesses. But we'll see how they'll deal with this. Oh, talking about the army, they've just arrived, and they've offloaded a bunch of troops. And police officers are coming in as well. Oh man, they're coming in on the flank. Oh, I'm not feeling the mobsters' chance here. They're getting gunned down. Oh my god. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, they're storming the compound now from above. I think we'll see some... There's still mobsters running about over here. I think some are just trying to escape. We have police officers. They've secured this compound here. Ricevuto. This has been secured, so we're going to send these guys in to the flank here and attack down that way and join the rest of the police officers. I think they'll be pretty sad to find out that the CEO has been killed. Can we see anyone indoors? No, we can't. We'll have to... We can't see down below as well. We'll have to look at later. I'm going to send one police officer or one paratrooper. He's going to rush the building. And now we will see the unfortunate death and body here of the CEO, the man who lost his life. But unfortunately, Thor stand here after the trade was gone and done. He was irrelevant. You think he played such a big part early on here, but now you realize that all the anarchists wanted is to trade him. He was the only person and the only deal and the only thing that they could trade with the Italian mobsters here, or the Italian side of things, to get that weapon of mass destruction so that they can further their goals in America. And that should be on a cargo ship heading back now to the States, or maybe a cargo transport plane or whatever. So that's kind of funny how you think it's such a big deal at the start, and then it's just nothing. The corporation had nothing to do with it, other than the CEO being the only person they wanted, and the only fact, and the anarchists didn't even, you know, mind the deal that that they were doing in Europe, or the expansion that they were doing into Europe, that was a different thing. So that's kind of, I think that's interesting. I might be speaking in circles a little bit here and kind of like talking from the inside of my head, but I do think most of you understand me what I'm trying to precisely say here. So the rest of the army is just clearing out the compound now. How are we looking on mobsters? Man, they know that they've lost the compound. They should run back and fight another day. Man, if I was them, what the hell's the point of standing here? They're gonna run back. They're gonna pull out. Few are gonna be gunned down as they try and run, but you're facing the bloody army here. I mean, fucking army paratroopers. Like, what the hell are you gonna do against Italian army paratroopers? Nada. Nada, man. Yeah, I wouldn't even bust into a police car here. I'd just run up into the nearby village. One stole a car and he's just running. Okay, keys were in. Makes sense. So the mobsters are getting out of here. These men here are irrelevant to the series. They're just tiny, tiny chess pieces on a very, very big board. I don't know why some are counterattacking. Would you forget something? I forgot that my buffalo mozzarella. No, quit it. Get out of here. Why are you standing like a muppet? Get out. You'll be shot down. Trying to save your pathetic lives. Get out. Okay, well, let's take a look at casualties. The Italians are in yellow. Oh boy, they lost a lot of police officers trying to charge the compound. But as soon as the army reinforcements came in, things changed quite drastically. We still have these officers looking around the area for more organized mobsters, but it's looking pretty dry. That's it, my friends. In the next episode, we are going to go back to the United States. What have we learned from this? Well, we've learned now what the anarchists wanted all along. We've learned that they weren't ever trying to bring down the corporations. We've learned that they've received, in a trade deal with the CEO, they've received the weapon of mass destruction, or not with the CEO, but with the mobsters using the CEO to trade with. They've received the weapon of mass destruction, and this is where I'd need your inspiration to, is how they could use that to further their goal in America, and what kind of weapon it is. Is it a zombie virus or whatever? It could be anything crazy, and how we can turn it into the next post-apocalyptic series. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys soon again. Ciao.